Okay, for today's deep dive, we're setting aside the usual foreign policy forecasts. We're digging into a strategic paper that makes a pretty startling argument.
That's a big one. It argues that the rise of the America First extreme wing isn't just another political shift.
Right, it's what the authors call an ideological rupture. And it's centered on this really challenging concept, racialized American exceptionalism.
Exactly. And the paper's thesis is that this shift is fundamental. It moves the U.S. away from predictable engagement toward a racialized view of sovereignty.
Meaning the U.S. is seen as fundamentally a white Christian nation.
Yes, which basically weaponizes the idea of civilization itself. The conflict is no longer just state versus state, but something much more antagonistic.
That is a profound break from the past. The paper talks about a move away from civic nationalism.
The idea that anyone can be an American.
Yeah, towards outright racial essentialism. So how do they show this isn't just some fringe theory? What are the examples?
Well, they focus on specific factions, like the ones driven by figures, like Nick J. Fuentes and his Goiper followers.
That very online, very radical wing.
That's it. They explicitly reject America's pluralistic foundations. And the paper documents the rhetoric, which is aimed squarely at the Indian diaspora and Hindu faith.
And it doesn't hold back. I mean, it cites public mocking of communities where Christmas isn't the dominant holiday.
The use of derogatory slurs like Pajit, and attacks on high-profile figures.
Like Usha Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy arguing their Hindu faith just disqualifies them from holding office.
And here's the real strategic concern for the authors. This is no longer fringe. The paper talks about a permeable membrane with the conservative mainstream.
Okay, so if this racialized ideology is entering the mainstream, how does that affect nuclear deterrence? Does mutually assured destruction, MAD, still apply?
The paper argues it doesn't. Not really. It basically throws MAD out the window.
Wow.
And it introduces this new concept, nuclear opportunism.
Which is what, exactly?
It's using the U.S. nuclear arsenal, not for defense against a peer, but to enforce a racial and civilizational hierarchy, to coerce non-white states.
So it becomes a proactive tool, not a last resort. That's like a madman strategy.
In a way, the fear is that if leaders actually believe that demographic growth in the global south is an act of replacement, of war,
then nuclear brinkmanship could be seen as a justifiable defense of civilization.
the moral barrier just collapses.
So given that existential threat, what's the recommended response?